Greetings and welcome to the Halloween edition of the Sliders Review. And I'm here today to talk to you about Goosebumps Vampire Breath. This was a really cool little episode. It's a little spooky. It's not scary, but it's more like spooky. But it's just really cool. However, I find it's more comedic than I do scary because of the brightly colored pink shirt of like the girl, the situation they're in with the vampires when they're down in like the catacombs, cave type places. It's a little brightly lit, kinda like a little and stuff, and it's like really green fluorescent a little bit. And it's a lot of humorous stuff, and it's like it's more comedic than it is scary and everything. But I like the concept of the idea of vampire breath. It's something that keeps their essence. It keeps their memories. It stores their power. It stores their youth and everything. It's a different take on the vampire genre. The vampire genre has been done to death back in the olden days. Basically, what it is just like a human looking person with fangs, and they bite you. And they bite you, you turn into a vampire. And so normally you stake them with like a wooden stake, or like use garlic or holy water and stuff like that. Normally if you kill the head vampire, the rest of them die. That trope has been done to death. That's why in modern days they keep trying to change it up. And Blade, they use silver. And they later, and in other adaptations of vampires, they changed the faces. Like in Buffy, they look human, but when they turn to vampires, they have this weird demonic face on them, and they sound like dogs when they growl. You can't, like, they can't get inside your house. Like, you have to invite them in if you want them to come in the house and stuff. Other than that, it's like a force field barrier. There's some that you see the reflection, some you don't. In Twilight, they sparkle when they be in sunlight. What the world? And then in like The Strain, they look like they're bald headed. They have a monstrous face. They have a 6 foot long tongue, and like they have worms all in their body. And the worms is the thing that infects you with the vampirism and stuff like that. So the whole idea of vampire breath is very fascinating to me. I wish it could have been explored more. I wish this could have been a hour long thing, but it's not. It's just 20 minutes, but it's fun 20 minutes and stuff. And so like with the title, you knew exactly what you're gonna get: vampires. And so, but you don't know exactly how. Well, there are these two kids. I'm not even sure if they're like twins or not, but they're kids, a boy and a girl. There's Carr and there's Freddie. Carr is played by Meredith Henderson. She was in The Adventures of Shirley Holmes. Her sister, I forget her sister's name because her sister literally changed her entire name. She was the girl in Stay Out the Basement, and also My Shrunken Head. And so Carla and Freddie, their parents left, and it's nighttime, it's stormy, and they're looking for their birthday presents and stuff. So I guess they are twins, and so because they had their birthdays on the same day, and so like they're wandering around the house. They go into like, I guess, like the basement or whatever, and something happens. I forget what, but they stumble upon something. I guess like they're looking and they find like a hidden compartment or something like that. And they go down in there and they find like a bottle of vampire breath. It's a cool bottle and everything. It's like, it has a great shape. It's blue with all the breath stuff in there. It just has a really cool like shape to it. I forget how, but somehow they find like, I guess like a coffin or whatever, and they awaken a vampire and stuff. Count Nightwing. And so he's old, he has gray hair, he's been asleep for so long and everything, and he wants to feed. And he wants to feed on the kids. And Freddy realizes something: you're toothless. He has no top teeth. And so he's embarrassed by this and everything. And basically, he forgot where he put his teeth and everything. And his vampire breath It's the only thing that will cause his memory to come back because he stored all his memories in his vampire breath. And so he asked for like, the bottle and stuff. And the kids are like, no, we ain't gonna give it to you. But he like demands it and everything else. And so like basically they fall through like a compartment in like the basement, and it's like some type of slip and slide type thing. They're on like a roller coaster ride going down further and further and further, like into like um what is it? Oh, now I remember how he got activated. They opened up the bottle of vampire breath, and some of it seeped through, and it reactivated him and restored him and stuff. And so anyway, they're going down like the little roller coaster thing, and it's really cool, man. It's like a little tunnel thing they built for the show, and the kids are screaming. They're just like going for a ride, and so like they fall down into like a cave and they don't know where they're at, but it's like kind of like purplish green fluorescent light kind of. That was kind of like a little silly to me. And they see hundreds of coffins in the ground. Now the coffins are just like a painting. It doesn't hold up. It's okay, but it doesn't hold up for TV standards. And so Freddy dropped the bottle of vampire breath, and they can't believe there's a vampire living down in like the grounds of like below their house. It's a really interesting mystery and stuff. And so as they're there, they see a little girl, Gwendolyn, and she's wearing a very beautiful dress, but she's dressed like she's old school Victorian and everything, like 1400s or something, and or 1500s. And it's kind of like, why is she dressed like that? So you knew something was up with her, but we don't know. She's all like, she's the vampire slave, and well, she's the slave to the vampire. She sleeps during the day when they do, and when they're up at night, she has to clean all their coffins, and so they tell her there's a dude named Nightwing after them, and she's like, oh, he's the worst one of them all and everything. And so like she's all like, well, they're like, well, what the heck does he want? And they're like, well, he wants his vampire breath, but they don't understand why that's so important. And she tells them it has their memories, it has their strength, and all this other crap. So of course, if he gets his memories back, he's gonna know where he put his teeth, his fangs, and he's gonna feed and everything. So then they start to hear his voice as he's coming down, climbing through like the mountains and stuff like that. And so like she tells him or them to hide. So Freddy then sees the vampire breath bottle. He takes it and they both hide in coffins. They don't want to get in coffins, but they do. And so when Nightwing's down there, it's weird calling him Nightwing. And so, like, he's telling Gwendolyn, like, where are the kids and everything. And she's like, kids? What kids? I ain't seen no kids. So he's all like, don't you lie to me, girl, and everything. And so, like, one of the kids is dumb enough to, like, poke their head through, like, the coffin. He sees them. He grabs the girl. And so, like, he grabs Carla and he mimics Carla's voice, talking about help Freddy and everything. Like, he has me and stuff. So Freddy, trying to be the big brother, he's all like, you let my sister go. So then he's all like, give me my breath. So then they start playing like keep away with the bottle. And then Gwendolyn gets it. But then she turns her back. The moment she turned her back and had that bottle in her hand, boy, I knew she was up to something. And she is. She takes some of the breath. And she has fangs. She's a vampire too. So that's why she's dressed old school and everything. So Freddy and Carla, they know they're screwed. But ironically, Gwendolyn fights Count Nightwing because she wants all his breath, because she wants to be powerful and strong. I like the twist. The twist is cool, but you kind of seen it coming just a little bit because of the way she's dressed and stuff. And so Freddy and Carla, they get the heck on out of there, and they climb up like the tunnels and stuff. Nightwing has some impressive powers. He turns Gwendolyn into a giant cockroach and everything. So then, with his bottle and everything he uses it, and he's now a lot younger. His hair is black, it's slicked back, and he's ready to find his teeth and eat those kids. So they're scared. They in the basement and they find their parents. And they're like, we need a wooden stake. We need some garlic. We need all this stuff. And then here comes Nightwing. And then the second twist happens that I did not see coming. The mom is like, Dad, is that you? I haven't seen you in forever. I was like, well, hold up. Is this like what is it? The girl who lied about like monsters and stuff. It is. The family's a family of vampires, and the kids had no idea because they had to wait till their birthday to get their fangs. So it's a big family reunion. The dad's all like, oh, the grandfather's all like, oh man, I almost like ate my grandkids. That was a close call. But then he remembers where he put his teeth. He left them in a jar in like a little cabinet and everything, a cabinet. And so the parents tell the kids, you're gonna get your fangs on your birthday, which is only in a few more minutes, and then so it comes in their fangs, and it hurts. And they're like, we have a surprise for you up in your room. So the boy, as he's licking his fangs, they just accept that, hey, whatever, man, we're vampires and stuff. I always find that interesting when the kids just accept their monsters and stuff. Oh, this is such a comedic episode. So they go up to their room, and I knew what was going to be in there. Coffins on bunk beds. And so they hop into their coffins, they cross their hands, and they go to sleep. Oh, this is such a comedic, funny episode. I wish it was more scary, though. Like, could you imagine they make it in modern times? They'll put the spooky in there and stuff. But yeah, all in all, this isn't a scary episode. It's just a fun, spooky episode. And it's fun to laugh sometimes, That wasn't that spooky. Alright, well, I shall talk to y'all later. Bye.